Coming up next, we look at the Lionel Century Club GG1. Welcome back to the channel for all my subscribers, or just welcome if you're new here. Glad to have you. We've already looked at two of the Century Club 1 engines, the 671 turbine and the 726 Berkshire. And today we're going to look at the Century Club 1 Pennsylvania Brunswick Green 5-stripe 2332 GG1. But before we do that, I'd like to talk a little bit about the dedication at the beginning of this video. I'm dedicating this video to my good friend Nick. We lost Nick 2 years ago. 14 years ago, Nick invited me down to the local hobby shop to hang out with his friends. We went and had dinner and talked trains, talked life, talked about happenings, and we did this every Friday for as long as I can remember, and we continue to do this even today. Nick was always one of the first people I thought of when the new catalogs came out. We would talk on the phone, or I'd go over his house. We'd look through the catalog, talk about what we were buying, what we were liking, what we didn't like. When I went to York, I'd call Nick from the fairgrounds, or stop on the way home, or stop when I got home, sit in his living room, or go down to his train room in the garage and run trains and talk about what I saw at York. Nick was a really, really good friend. When Lionel was having the warehouse sales down in up in Ohio, we went, and when it moved to North Carolina, 4 of us would jump in a van Friday morning, ride down to North Carolina, stop at Lionel, go grab some dinner, hang out. Next morning we'd stop at Lionel again before heading back for another 8-hour drive. And the whole time we'd be laughing, talking trains, and just having a great time. Nick was a big fan of articulated locomotives. The big boys, the Challengers. I don't think there was a steam locomotive that Nick didn't like. But what Nick despised were GG1s. And that's why I'm dedicating this video to him. Now, that may seem kind of odd to you. You know, Nick would always tell me the only thing a GG1 was good for was a wheel chock for his truck, a doorstop, and many times told me if he ever got one, he'd cut it in half. Well, I would tease him and tell him I'd get him one for Christmas, and that picture at the beginning of this video is when I bought him the GG1 from Hallmark, the model of the Century Club GG1. And he accepted it graciously, had a good laugh. And but again, he would tell me how ugly it was, how much he hated GG1s. He'd give me crap for having one, running it on my layout. And be honest with you, we sparred back and forth, but it was all in good fun. We had a lot of laughs. So why would I dedicate a GG1 video to a guy that hated GG1s? Because every time I think of Nick, I think of GG1s. And every time I think of GG1s, I have to think of Nick. Because as much as he hated them, we had the best times laughing and giving each other crap about GG1s. Nick's friendship came to me when I had a lot of personal stuff happening, and I really appreciated it. Nick was one of my best train friends and best friends ever. And so that's why I wanted to dedicate this video to him. I really miss the times me and Nick spent in his train room. Spent talking about trains, going to hobby shops, and just talking about everything and anything and having some really good laughs. So that's why I dedicated this video to Nick. GG1s will always make me laugh, and it's all because of Nick. So with that, I have the Century Club GG1 over on the layout, along with the Commemorative Boxcar and the Century Club inspired Madison cars. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at those, run them around the layout, and when we're done, we'll talk a little bit about the past York meet. Before we look at the Century Club GG1 and Madison cars, let's look at the Commemorative Boxcar. It's product number 6-29227. It has the Century Club logo, as well as the built days for the Postwar version and Century Club edition. On the other side, it has the GG1 with the Century Club spotlights. Now let's take a look at the star of this video, the Century Club Pennsylvania Railroad Brunswick Green 5-stripe GG1, road number 2332. It is product number 6-18314. It has 2 Pullmore motors, magnet traction, TMCC, rail signs, and directional lighting. It has a beautiful paint job with crisp gold stripes and lettering. Other details include Pennsylvania Railroad keystones and Century Club gold horns. The pantographs are part of the TMCC antenna system. Make sure they're on the engine before you run it. And the Century Club callout is on the ends. Let's take a look at the supporting cast in this video. The Century Club inspired Tuscan Red 4-car Pennsylvania Madison Passenger Set. Product number 6-29003. The set includes a baggage car, 2 passenger cars, and an observation car. The observation car really shines with the lighted Broadway Limited drumhead on the rear platform. Is that a famous Hollywood starlet looking out the window? Reminiscent of the post-war era, the lighted passenger and observation cars have silhouettes of passengers in the windows watching the small towns go by while riding down the rails. All right, the 2332 Pennsylvania Brunswick Green 5-stripe Century Club 1. GG1 is on the tracks. Now, this particular engine has a pretty strong magnet traction, so the stops and starts are very sudden. I set the stall speed. That helped a little bit, but I've always noticed on this engine that the starts and stops are rather pronounced. Not much I can do about that, but we're going to go ahead and fire it up again. Just want to remind you that the pantographs are part of the antenna system, so you need to make sure that they're on the engine before you run it, or you'll probably have some poor signal or maybe no signal at all getting to the engine. So we're going to go ahead and start it up. We'll check out the sounds. We have a horn, we have a bell, and it does have some ancillary sounds of a GG1. So let's go ahead and start her up. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down one step. It has the classic GG1 horn. Has a bell. Does have an intelligible crew talk. And it does have road-specific tower con.
NC 2332, cleared outbound.
So now that we're cleared outbound, let's roll. The Pennsylvania 5-stripe Brunswick Green 2332 Century Club GG1. A Lionel icon. What a beautiful addition to the Century Club line. I think Lionel did a great job picking out the 5 engines that they selected for the Century Club, and you know this one had to be in it. Before we wrap up, I wanted to show the size difference between the Century Club GG1 and the Vision Line Scale GG1. As you can see, there's quite an amazing difference in size. Being so used to the post-war version, when I first seen a Scale GG1, I wonder why they made it so big. Little did I know. The iconic GG1. I don't think Lionel has picked a bad locomotive for the Century Club 1. All 5 of these locomotives are iconic. Just unbelievable examples of Lionel's post-war excellence. Now, speaking of the Century Club engines, the next one is the New York Central F3 ABA. Now, these didn't have a Century Club inspired set of rolling stock or passenger cars, but I found a set of passenger cars that I think will work behind them just perfectly. So we'll take a look at those as well in our next video. Now, York was about 3 weeks ago. I missed talking to that guy about York, but there's a lot of videos out there from a lot of YouTubers that have done a great job talking about York, showing you what it's all about, telling you what they got, their impressions. I could do a video. Personally, I like to just go there and relax and not think about stuff and just enjoy the time. So I don't typically do those, but there's a lot of guys out there doing a lot of great videos. I'm going to put links in the description of videos of folks that did YouTube videos for York Roundup. I think you watch them, I think you're going to see a lot of people that have never been to York. You'll be really surprised the amount of product. It's just unbelievable. But we'll let those videos do the talking for them. If you go to their channels, I encourage you to subscribe to them. I encourage you to like their videos. Now, you might think I'm kind of crazy pushing you to another channel to look at videos, but hey, we're a small niche in a very small hobby. And it just doesn't make sense that we don't cross-promote each other and check out any content we can. So if that means me sending you to another channel to promote the hobby, I'm going to do it. No harm, no foul. So speaking of promoting, if you like this video, how about punching the like button? I'd appreciate it. If you got a comment, put it in the comments section. I read every one of them and I try to answer every one of them. And finally, if you're not subscribed, why not? Come on, join the fun. We'd love to have you. So until next time, I have Nick overseeing the layout, keeping an eye on those GG1s, and hopefully he doesn't give me a lot of crap. So, till next time, happy railroading.